In this video, we're going to go through one of the programming problems together that's found in the review questions and exercises section of chapter 2. In this case, we're going to do question 8 together. The customer in a store is purchasing 5 items. The prices of the 5 items are, and you can see the prices are listed. Write a program that holds the prices of the 5 items in 5 variables. Display each item's price, the subtotal of the sale, the amount of the sales tax, and the total. Assume the sales tax is 7%. So, first thing we've done is copy the text of the problem into our editor, and for now we're using SoloLearn. And this is just for quick reference, so we don't have to keep jumping back and forth. So, the first thing we'd like to do is store the prices of the 5 items in 5 variables. So let's go ahead and create 5 variables. And these are going to be decimals. Let's say item 1 equals, and we're going to say 15.95. Now, I like to hit run as often as possible. It's not going to hurt anything. All it will do is tell me if I have any errors right away. Now, we should have no output. So the problem right away we see is decimal. It's not declared. So, just a simple slip of the mind error, declare decimal. But in C++, we're going to use a double instead. Now, hopefully you can tell from the coloring that we have here that when I typed in decimal, it didn't seem to do anything with the type. But when I did double, suddenly we have the coloration on there. So when we hit run, no output, that means we have no errors. So what we'd like to do is go ahead and write the other ones in here. 24.95, and this should actually be 95 there. Item 3 equals 6.95. Item 4 equals 12.95. And item 5 equals 3.95. Now we haven't done anything else that we could see, but I've done a little chunk of code here, so I would like to hit run anyway, just to make sure I didn't miss a semicolon or make a mistake somewhere. Okay. The next thing we want to do is display each item's price. The subtotal of the price, the amount of the sales tax, and the total. Okay. So let's take this one step at a time. So to display something to the screen, we use cout. So, and in this case, since you're new to programming, you're new to the concept of cout, instead of trying to remember it off the top of your head, a good thing to do is simply just jump back over to your book. Let's go look at cout. Let's see how it's used. So here's an example of putting something out to the screen. Let's just copy it. Put it here. Now, we hit run to make sure the code we copy worked. Again, I'm going to hit run many, many times, and it's not going to hurt anything. So in this case, we don't want to print out programming is fun. We would like to say item 1 and then display the price. Okay. Now, the first thing we send to the cout stream is the text item 1. The next thing we want to do is the price. Okay, and then let's put out an end line. And we're going to put a space after that so the cost isn't right next to it. And we're also going to put a dollar sign in front of it. So let's hit run now. Okay, we see the output item 1 is 15.95. So we can do the same thing for item 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what I'm going to do to make this simple is just copy and paste. And then let's just do 3, 4, and 5. And here we have the variables we want to use. When we hit the run button, we'll see all the prices printed out. Now, the next thing we want to do is the subtotal of the sale. The subtotal is just the combined total of all the items before the sales tax. So, excuse me, let's cout the subtotal as, and we're going to put it as a dollar sign. Now, we could do item 1 plus item 2 plus item 3, and so on. But we're going to want to use the subtotal again later when we calculate the sales tax. So instead of writing all that out, let's declare a variable called subtotal. We're going to set it equal to item 1 plus item 2 plus item 3 plus item 4 plus item 5. And now we can just see out the subtotal. And then we want to do, like usual, we want to throw out an end line. Now we did some stuff, so let's hit run. Okay. Now let's do this. Just because we're a little bit pedantic about it. Let's put a little line there, just to make the output formatted a little better. All right, so the subtotal is 64.75. Now, the next thing we want to do is the amount of the sales tax. So let's declare another double called sales tax. Excuse me. Sales tax is going to be a constant, and it's set to 0.07. That's how you do percentages in math. Okay? And that's a constant. That's not going to change in this program. So the next thing we want to do is print out sales tax. And again, it's going to be a dollar figure. In this case, it's going to be the subtotal times the sales tax. Then let's hit run. Okay? You can see it goes out farther than we would like it to, because in currency we don't go out for decimal places. But we're not going to worry too much about that right now. Okay? Now the last thing we need to do is the total. Okay? So again, let's put a little divider item there. Let's do cout total, and it's going to be a dollar figure, and the total is simply subtotal plus the sales tax amount. So you can see what we already want to have another variable. In this case, it's going to be the subtotal plus the subtotal times the sales tax. Now, the reason we put the parentheses around it is because of order of operations. So now we can just put total and then run. And we're going to wait for our output, and we can see our total. Now, we would like it to round down, but that's beyond the scope of this particular question. So in this case, this is our final output, and this is our code. It's a little bit repetitive, but hopefully you followed along. Feel free to open the video up yourself, pause it as you need to, and code along.